okay, so this is another reason why I wanted to talk to you, because you are like, you're not, well, is it okay to say that you have like a straight job?
Yeah.
Is that okay to disclose? Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck it.
Yes.
I mean, fuck it. There's so much freedom.
Dude, I don't make a living playing, like, come on, man. Anyone that sees this, they'll know.
Yeah.
They can you can tell just by looking at me. You're like, that motherfucker needs to go.
He's not paying his rent with the old sing
It's
song.
like, he actually should see a doctor. He's like, those are, like...
You are skinny.
I'm only 37 years old, man. The girls at work say I look like Willem Dafoe.
I mean, he's like, a very handsome guy. He's kind of an ageless handsome.
I can dig it because he's the shit.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, he's a little bit of a hero. But yeah, he's also like quite a bit older than me. And I was like, what, you mean like young Willem Dafoe? And they're like, nah. Current Willem Dafoe.
He's tipping into 70. I don't know.
Awesome.
Like, yeah.
Sick.
I wouldn't say that at all. I
Thank
don't
you.
notice that. No, it's just,
no, it's, yeah, I work, I got into bread baking a couple of years. I was
in the pandemic, weren't you? That's when I started seeing the posts.
Yeah. I ended up taking over this little bakery, this little micro bakery operation, and it's been a very strange thing, but I'll tell you what, like, I hope, like, to always have, like, something, having a way. I mean, this is actually crucial, and I think, like, if I could give any advice to young artists right now, it would be not to make your money. Don't be afraid to go out and make some money doing something else, because it's just like, I tried the whole starving artist thing, like, essentially, like, for, like, the bulk of my 20s, I kind of had jobs here and there, but man, being broke is hard. It's hard, and it's like, and I like being out there in the world. I get so much from my job, from, like, working in a bakery. I get to interact with my interesting colleagues. Mm-hmm. I'm getting to work with my hands. I mean, it is like, it's essential to, it's linked to my creative life in a real way. And so I hope to always have a little something going on here. And, I request time off in the app that we use for scheduling. And I'm like, I'm going to take 4 days off and go make some recordings and come back. And it's awesome. I love it so much.
That is so sensible and so healthy. And so, it's something that
I wish it hadn't taken me so long to well,
because you have an idea in your mind
so dumb.
about what it is and what success is and your identity is attached. I don't know. I'll speak for myself. Like, that's when I first moved to town, I was just like broke my entire 20s. I was in bands. I made records. I toured all the time. I could barely pay my rent. I also did not care. I think that's an important prerequisite. I somehow, like, as long as I had enough for a pint and like a paperback book, I was like, this is great. And
that's nice.
I couldn't ever really, I was not, I mean, honestly, I just wasn't that interested in serious relationships too. So that was fine, because I was like, I just want to be out on the road playing music all the time. Anyway, but I was broke, right? And I moved to town, and real quick realized that, like, nobody gave shit about me, which hurt my feelings, but was important. Important rite of passage,
of course.
And not only did it hurt my feelings, but it removed my income entirely, because I moved from, like, Seattle, where I was living 2,000 miles away, and now all of a sudden there's no money at all. It went from hardly anything to literally nothing. Yeah. And so I had to get a straight job, and I ended up parking cars for like 3 years. And
they won't park themselves.
Best thing that ever happened to me. No, they won't.
Actually, Teslas, I guess they do now.
Right. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. I would have been unemployed. Like, that would have been. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that's still to this day the only skill I have outside of kind of the arts. But those 3 years and change, it was just like, it was really great, because it disabused me of this notion that I was something special. And deserving of accolades and attention, which I am embarrassed to say that I kind of had that a little bit attitude when I was super young. Yeah, there's delusions of grandeur.
I mean, there's a reason why people get into this business. I mean,
I know. Yeah, I think that's put a pin in that, because we might come back.
Yeah, we should. Yeah.
But having the straight job And then realizing like after a few days of doing it, I'm like, this is great. Like no one cares about me. And now I don't have to like be anything. I don't have to, there's no pretense. Before,
anonymity
like,
is fire.
It was so awesome.
Anonymity is tight.
Total fire for creativity. And there was no stakes. I was like, that's when I got into film. That's when I wrote many short stories for no reason. And that years later ended up getting published in a book. That would not have happened had I not had that straight job where I wasn't like, my income, my livelihood was not coupled to my artistic output. And that was so important to understand. And to this day, like, even though I'm still like kind of hanging my hat on it, like we're paying our mortgage somehow, but it's not the same. I don't have the same relationship to art having to pay. Like this podcast, as famous as you are going to be now, it's not, I wouldn't recommend it as a way to earn fame and fortune, but I would recommend it as a way to have genuine experiences with really interesting people. And for me,
love talking to people.
Yeah, that's enough. Checks boxes 1 through 5. Hey, thanks for watching. Go ahead and click here to like and subscribe. You can click right there to watch another video, or click here to watch a playlist featuring songs of the Morse Code Podcast. Okay, thank you very much.